Right now in BC, a party with 3 MLAs gets to choose the premier. You have the Liberals with 43 seats and the NDP with 41 seats, so it comes down to the humble Green Party to pick a side and decide a future government. This has happened before in Canada, of course, but it's relevant now because there's all this chatter lately about proportional representation. In fact, the BC Green Party and the NDP have said that bringing in proportional representation is a top priority. One of the things about proportional representation is that you're going to get a lot more situations like you have now. Hung parliaments where no one party has a majority, so they have to strike deals with little parties to stay in power. The whole idea of proportional representation, of course, is that it's fair. Instead of handing a majority government to some putz with only 40% of the vote, you fix it so that the legislature reflects the popular vote. So it's worth considering. Is it fair when a party with only 16% of the vote effectively has a veto power on the government? The dream, of course, is yes, it's totally fair. There's no such thing as hung parliaments, Mr. Cynical, and in some enlightened, more democratic future, we would have a big rainbow of parties in the legislature who would join into friendly coalitions that would end up representing a diverse majority of BC voices. But that assumes the Green Party is an equal partner in this whole thing. I would posit they're not. The Greens effectively have their finger on the "your government ends now" button, and are the sole reason why there will likely be an NDP rather than a Liberal premier in BC. So I'd say it's fair to speculate that they have more leverage than any other 3 MLA bloc in the BC legislature. Even if the BC election had been conducted under some form of proportional representation, the situation would be the same. The NDP and Liberals would be stuck in a tie, and the tiny Greens, albeit with 14 seats instead of 3, would be holding the balance of power. And imagine it wasn't a nice, non-threatening party like the Greens. What if the Build All the Pipelines Forever party got an MLA elected, and it was that single person who was deciding who got to form government and what policies they would support? But we'll see. The Greens have explicitly stated that they're doing this to prove that proportional representation is a noble system that can work. Only time will tell.